Welcome back to Cosmic Kickback, the galaxy's favorite talk show. My name is Josh. With me, as always, is my co-host.
Hello.
What's your name?
Oh, my name Nick.
Yeah, welcome back to being
I'm
a co-host. Yes, sir. Past couple weeks, you've been dropping in and out as guest and host whenever Christian's popped on.
I don't know how, bro. I carried this whole podcast.
I mean, I don't know how you letting Christian do that. Hey, actually, Christian will be back soon. Isn't he going to be on our Trap review?
Oh, yeah. We're going to review Trap.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for that. We're also getting Mike. I'm not going to spoil anybody's thoughts on that. All I'll say is get ready for that episode because I'm thinking it's going to be crazy. I think we're going to...
Dude, I know.
I think everyone's it might get heated.
Dude, yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of... No, I'll save it for the review, but...
Yeah, I'm not going to say nothing, but just know. That's going to be a good one, so be ready for that.
It'll be a heated...
Yeah, but on this one, I feel like Nick and I are mostly in agreement with the Acolyte, which is what we're talking about this week. I mean, this has been the subject of many red pill YouTube videos. I mean, red pill. Dude. I mean, it's true, bro. Like
that's a good way to describe it.
I mean, it's true. Like I open YouTube and I'm not even subscribed to anything like that. But this is just all I saw. It's like the one thing everyone could agree on was that this was not received well.
Yeah, this came out. I want to say June 4th or 5th, very early June. So it was like a summertime show. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I feel like nowadays with Star Wars, bro, it's kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes you'll get some really like shit movie like Rise of Skywalker with all its problems, but you can also get something like Rogue One, which is, you know, connected to the Skywalker story. And it's actually really good. Like it's written between movies and it works.
Yeah. You might get something like the Book of Boba Fett, or you might get something like Andor.
I still need to watch that. Honestly, after watching fucking The Acolyte, I need to cleanse my eyes, bro. Like, I need some heat, bro.
Yeah, you need to get it. I only watched episode 1 of Andor, and I'm not gonna lie, it's like miles ahead.
It's probably better than the whole Acolyte, honestly.
Probably. But yeah. Anyway, Nick, do we have any news, or do we have anything we want to do, or do you want to just jump right in to reviewing? There's not much news. The only thing Nick mentioned beforehand was... Oh, yeah,
let's mention it.
Yeah, we can talk about it real quick. Borderlands has, I guess, premiered. Is it coming out this Friday as recording this?
Yeah, I think you can actually see it today.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah, you could.
You really want.
Yeah, but apparently it's very bad. Like the critics, audience, and fans of the video game series, everyone seems to be in agreement that this is going to be an absolute dumpster fire of a movie. So, I mean, let us know if you want us to if you want to torture Nick and have Nick watch it regardless.
Ah, dude.
And then pump out a review on it.
I mean, another piece of news that's attached to this is actually, so this writer-director, his name is Craig Mazin. Mm-hmm. He was one of the people that was writing the Borderlands movie. He recently came out saying that he does not want like his name attached to the project. That's how bad it is.
That's fucking crazy.
It sucks because this dude was like, he's actually cooked some movies, bro. He did a couple of the scary movies. Uh-huh. He was a part of The Hangover in some way. He also helped create Chernobyl, and
this guy.
He helped go run The Last of Us.
Yeah,
I mean, this dude's been a part of like pretty good stuff. So it's like, I mean, of course he doesn't need this like on his filmography, so I get it. But that's a big thing to like help write a movie, finish it, and then just be like, bro, take my name off it, man. It's ass.
Yeah, I heard this news too. I don't know the writer personally, but I did see somebody say that he had worked on Chernobyl, like you said, and The Last of Us. And I don't know the exact details, but I heard people saying that when Eli Roth, the director of this, came in, he looked at the script and he made some changes to it to the point where, I guess, like you're saying, the guy's like, no, I want nothing to do with this.
I mean, I guess that's what creative differences are when someone's like, so like, no, this has to be the story. Like, it's going to be good. And they're just like, nah.
Yeah.
I can get out. That'd be frustrating as hell.
I mean, that would annoy me. I mean, but getting to the point where you're like, get my name off of it. Like that's fucking crazy.
That's petty, bro.
That's a giant difference, bro. Like to the point where you're like, I want no involvement with this at all. Like, this has nothing to do with me. But yeah. Anyway, who knows? We might review it. We might not. We might wait for it to be on streaming just to like throw it on and make fun of it. But who knows? We'll see. But anyway, let's get to the Acolyte. Nick, you're gonna have to carry a lot of this because I watched this probably a month ago I finished it, and I feel like I've already forgotten some of the plot points. I feel like I know the overarching plot, but you got it more fresh in your head.
Okay. All right. I'm a carry, bro. So based off of this show's writer's room, first before we even talk about the story, this is made by Leslie Hyland. I honestly don't know like what she's done before this, which is a little odd. Like she was kind of just thrown in to write like a Disney Star Wars TV show. But one thing that I was reading online is a lot of people were also upset is some of the writers that they brought on for this show have like never seen, I guess, any piece of Star Wars, which, you know, I don't think it matters because it takes place 100 years before the fall of the Republic. So it's, you know, it's a time of peace. Jedis are actually at the top of their game. You know, they're not all almost extinct. But I don't know. I mean, maybe when we get into the review, we can see if that like has any effect on it.
Well, I remember, I'll say this, like before we get into the meat of the plot, I remember when this was first announced and they were saying how it takes place in the High Republic and it's like 100 years before like episode 1, I believe. I'm like, I was like, damn, like this seems like, holy shit, this is going to be crazy. Like this is like the era that people want to see more like Star Wars media, you know? So I was excited. It wasn't going to be no Knights of the Old Republic, but it was going to be set in the Old Republic. So I was like, you know, like, okay, like I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I agree. Like the plot is really good. It's like a crime thriller investigating the murders of these Jedi that are possibly connected to something that happened in this assailant's past. But opening up with the first episode's called Lost and Found. So we actually, Carrie-Anne Moss from The Matrix is in this.
She is.
And I mean, spoilers going for the rest of the show. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. But bro, she dies like in the first 5 minutes.
She does.
And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I wanted to see more of her, bro. That's what kind of pissed me off.
I mean, we do see more to her, but like it's in like a flashback.
Right. It's not like in the same capacity as like she's in like the current story that's going on. Like it is flashbacks. You're right.
Like I do think she has one episode where the entirety of the episode is a flashback. That's probably where she gets the most play. But I do agree with you.
Episode 4.
Yeah, I do think there's probably a group of people out here that are fans of The Matrix, fans of her, fans of Star Wars, and they're probably like, oh shit, like this is crazy. She's gonna be a Jedi. Like I'm hype. I'm sold. And to see her killed off in the first 5 minutes, maybe it was intentionally done to maybe kind of have people be like, oh shit, what? Like I didn't expect that. But it could also backfire as well.
Yeah, there's a couple deaths in the show that do like surprise me. Like, so I will give it that. Like, it's not like on the crazy level of Game of Thrones, but certain characters die that I'm just like, oh shit. Like, I kind of wanted to see more of them.
Yeah.
And another dumb thing is at the very end of this first episode, we get the first look at Smilo Ren. I'm gonna just call him that, bro, because I low key have forgotten these characters' names. But this dude is giving a monologue about how, you know, you can't kill a Jedi, you can't like cut them with steel, like you can do it with a lightsaber, bro. But it just happened in the first episode. Like Osha's twin May like kills Indara with a knife.
Yes, sir.
So it's like, and also it's in the most dumb way, bro. Like she looks away because like May throws a knife at some innocent bystander. She uses the Force to stop it, and then she gets her. Yeah. I don't know. It seems crazy.
I mean, okay, so I feel like you are probably going to be more on the, like, let's shit on this hard side. I'm going to be a little bit on the other side. I don't think it's good. I'm going to say that. 100%. I don't think this is good.
As good as it could have been.
It definitely could have been way better. Oh my God. But I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's because there was so much hate on the show online that I was expecting this to be absolute unwatchable garbage. I felt like there are parts of this that I genuinely did not mind, and I didn't think were that bad. Like, for example, the action scenes, I think a lot of the choreography is pretty good. Like, I actually was like, oh shit, like, this looks...
I will agree with you there. This actually has some of the best, like, choreography in modern Star Wars.
And yeah, in modern Star Wars, I feel like one of the lacking points has been the lightsaber battles, the action scenes. I feel like they've been not bad, but they're definitely subpar in comparison. Like, they're closer to the original series where they just were, like, hitting each other with little sticks, you know? And that was a product of its time. But, like, holy shit, after seeing what we can do in the prequels, like, I mean, I do agree that there's stuff in the prequels that just because it's fast doesn't mean it's good. Like, there's some parts where they're just doing, like, fucking spins for no reason. But I feel like somewhere in between that and this is, like, a very good, like, I don't know, like a happy medium. But that's one thing I liked about this show. I also do think, at least the first episode, there are like, you know, parts of it that are a little like the monologuing, the death, the way that what's her name? What's her name's Jedi dies. I don't even remember the characters' names.
Indara.
Is that her name?
Carrie-Anne Moss's character?
Is it Indara?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the way she dies, I do agree. It's a little lame. It's like, if she's this good of a Jedi, like, how the fuck would that work? You know, like, I get it, but at the same time, it seems kind of rushed.
I don't know. A part of me also felt like, and maybe this is me trying to justify it, is like deep down, all of these Jedi that were involved with the whole Osha and May's like home planet being burned, they all kind of felt guilty. Because if you remember, I think in episode 2 or 3, when May goes to visit, I think Master Torben, the dude who's just like asleep for like 10 years.
Yeah, the one that's like meditating.
Yeah, he's just like meditating. He gets poisoned or some shit. I feel like a part of them all down kind of felt guilty and maybe like wanted to die. So like, but I don't know. It wouldn't make sense like them like defending themselves. But yeah, it's kind of like, they kind of had it coming to them because of what happens on their home planet. We'll talk about it later.
Well, for those of you who haven't even seen it, like the overall plot of this is there was something that happened with a group of 4 Jedi back in like, I don't know, like 20 years in the past when the show begins. And there's one character named May who is going out and killing these Jedi. She wants revenge. Is it 4 or 5 Jedi? I think it's 5. Counting Moss's character. So she wants to kill all these Jedi, and there's also like you called him Smilo Ren. There's like another dude who's like, I guess, like one of the first Sith, I guess, is what they're saying.
Oh, well, isn't I mean, continue with the plot, but Darth Plagueis comes like,
yeah. There's a random shot where he like shows up, and I'm not gonna lie, I was completely like surprised by that.
That kind of fucking scared me, bro. He's like hiding in the cave like a Kermit. I was like,
oh, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I guess it's our first live action. What would you call it? Our first live action review of Plagueis? Like, they've talked about him in passing in the prequels, but they've never shown him. We got to talk a bit about, I know a big thing that a lot of people talk about with this show is breaking canon. There's like a couple things in here that have caused stirred up a lot of negativity of Star Wars fans. But let me just finish telling you what the plot is. So basically, someone wants revenge. At the same time, they're like an apprentice to some like Sith person, and they want them to kill one of these Jedi without a weapon. I guess to prove to the Jedi like that. I don't know, because the Jedi are like, oh, we don't fight unarmed people. So I think they're trying to be like, oh, well, like, if like we're gonna use your rules against you, like I'm unarmed and I'm still gonna kill you, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the other reveal is that May, who's going around killing these Jedi, actually has a twin named what's her name?
Osha.
Osha, that's like right. Yeah, and Osha used to be a Jedi apprentice. And we find out that they're twins. We get a flashback that shows them growing up. They're part of like a coven of witches. And we don't really know the whole story, but that's basically the plot. But what I want to say is I liked, and it kind of like unravels a bit, but at least for when I watched episode 1, I liked, in all honesty, I liked the setup. I was like, okay, this is like a murder mystery type thing. There's a twin situation. I was like, this has potential. I will say they didn't really like use the full potential this could have been. But at least in that first episode, I was like a little surprised, maybe pleasantly, because I've heard so much negativity with the show that I was expecting it to be like a 1 or a 2. But I went out of there thinking like, okay, episode 1's like a 6, you know, nothing crazy.
It's a pretty good pilot. Yeah.
But I think it does get worse as it goes on.
Yeah, some of the like plot contrivances and stuff just like kind of get to me. I don't know. Before we move on with the plot, this is pretty well casted. I will give it that. I got the casting right here. Daphne Keane is in here from Logan. We also got Amandla Stenberg. She played Rue in the Hunger Games. I'm sure that's what people would most recognize her for. I
didn't even realize she was in this, not gonna lie.
Bro, she's the twins.
That's her? Wait, that's Rue?
Yeah, she's like
holy
really grown
up. I would have never guessed.
I know, yeah. In the Hunger Games, she looks like a little kid.
Yeah, she's like a child in that.
We also got Lee Jung Jae, who plays Master Soul. He was in Squid Game.
Yeah.
That was the main reason I was also hyped for this show. Of course, Carrie Ann Moss, a couple other people. I mean, like I said, the cast is pretty well. Oh, the dude who plays Smilo Ren,
Okay.
Manny Jacinto. His name is Chimere.
I don't remember.
Oh, this dude was in Top Gun.
He was? Like the recent one, Maverick?
Yeah, he was in Maverick. He played Fritz.
Okay, I don't know who that is off the top of my head.
But yeah, it's really well casted. But
okay.
After the first episode, we get into episode 2, which they pretty much find. I mean, this actually is from May's point of view. They're trying to kill Master Torben and Osha, Sol, and Jackie, I think, which is Daphne Keene's character.
Mm-hmm.
They're all looking for May on the same planet. And she first goes to Smilo Ren. She's like, yo, I need some poison to like kill this dude. And at first he doesn't want to give it to her. And then, I don't know, some shit happens. She comes back. And then he makes the poison. But a weird thing for me is like, if they're trying to hide out from like the Jedi, like this dude straight up killed like some random person inside of a business. Like I think it was a cantina. And he's just like hiding out there. Like, I don't know how that's supposed to be like covert, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there's one point where I think May like leaves and Osha's like, I'm gonna go in there and pretend to be like my sister to try to get like a confession out of him.
Mm-hmm.
But at first that's not the plan. I think Yord is his name.
Yes.
He's like, no, like, let's get. Also, I don't like Yord, bro. I mean, I don't know. He's a mixed bag for me, bro. But Yord is like, yo, why don't we just go in there and arrest him? We know that he murdered this dude in the cantina. But Jackie's character is like, no, like, let's send May in there. Or I'm sorry, let's send Osha to pretend to be May and like get a confession. And that whole plan ends up fucking going wrong, bro. He escapes. Like, I don't know. That just seems like an instance. And I saw what people were saying online. They're like, bro, any instance a guy like just suggests some reasonable logic approach, like, I don't know, a woman's just like comes out and is like, nah, we got to do it this way. And I don't want to like, I don't have a problem with like what characters saying what, bro. But just something like that is so dumb. They could have gotten bro like by episode 2. I don't know. And his whole thing later on in the show, we find out is he's a Sith, or he's not a Sith, but he got rejected by the Sith, and he kind of just wants to operate like on his own with no rules.
Well, what I wanted to like is he technically an apprentice of Darth Plagueis, or is Darth Plagueis just spying on them?
I think he's Darth Plagueis' apprentice. Yeah.
Okay, because he's like showing himself off like as if he's a master, but he's really an apprentice in his own right.
Yeah, that's what I was getting.
Yeah, because that part confused me a bit. I was like, okay, is Darth Plagueis just like creeping here, or is he training this dude like on his own? Because for a moment after they revealed that, I was like, wait, is this supposed to be like a young Palpatine? And I was just like, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And he has a different name. And I was like, so that there's no fucking way, because the only apprentice I know of is Palpatine is Darth Plagueis' apprentice. From the prequels, but I was like, there's no fucking way like that's what they're doing. It's just, I guess, I don't know. One thing that I've heard people talk about is they talk about how Darth Plagueis is the one that used the Force to create Anakin. And a big part of this show is how the Coven of Witches created May and Osha from what they call the thread, but it's the Force, it's the same thing. It's just the witches call it something different.
Right.
And I've heard a lot of discourse online because people are like mad about it. What is your take on all of that?
Honestly, dude, I don't have as much hate for the witches as like everyone online does, bro. I mean, if we're keeping it the bug, bro, like Star Wars fans are kind of toxic. Bro, you could never satisfy all of them, bro.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with it. I actually think that it's kind of cool to go off and do some kind of weird undiscovered thing like having witches. I like how they have their own interpretation of the Force. It's not like them trying to be like, oh, we don't believe in the Force at all, blah. Like it's whatever. Like it's clearly like an influence of the Force. There's a scene, I think, in episode 4, which is the flashback episode, where their mom is like using the Force on both of them. But I don't really care about the witches things. I like how it's kind of weird and cool. It is kind of vague about like what their powers are, because at one point she uses her powers.
Oh, the mind
it's actually
thing?
Yeah, like on like the young Torben. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I
And I
thought that
actually
was
like,
cool.
yeah, it gave me like Stranger Things upside down vibes. Like it cuts to like Torben's conscience and like everything around him is black. Like I don't know, I thought it was cool. I didn't mind it, and I'm not like hating on it. Like, oh, this isn't Star Wars. Like it's cool that we're getting something new and kind of fresh. I liked it personally.
Yeah, I actually I feel like I agree with you. I feel like I don't care as much about the quote breaking of canon, because like I don't think this breaks. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not as much of a nerd as some of these other Star Wars fans are.
No.
I mean, I'm not even like hating on people that are. Like, you know, you can like what you want. There's shit that I'm nerdy as fuck about. But like, I feel like for me personally, I don't think the prequels or Star Wars has ever said that Anakin is the only being ever created from the Force. I think they just said he is a being created from the Force. I could be wrong, but from my memory, I don't think they ever said, oh yeah, like he's a being created, like the only being ever in the history we created just from the Force itself. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they said the only one ever. I think they said he is a being created from the Force. So I feel like,
Yeah.
and
Like
also,
Immaculate Conception.
yeah, exactly. And another reason why I don't care about it is because I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just reading this wrong, but when we got to the finale, the big reveal at the very end, which I feel like isn't that much of a reveal. Like I feel like a lot of people, if you watch this, could have, you know, seen it coming.
I know.
Was May and Osha are not really twins. They were the one person that was trying to be created from the Force, but it messed up, and they're the same person. They're not twins. They're exactly identical.
They're like split consciousness.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's an interesting idea. I feel like they could have done more with that. I feel like that's a concept that has like limitless potential, and I feel like they didn't really. I don't know. I feel like there's hints at it. Like they're hinting that one of them is more of a like you know, on the dark side. One is more on like they could have easily had them both be physical interpretations of like the light side and the dark side. And I feel like they kind of hint at that. I don't think they go deep enough into that. And I feel like the other twist at the end is that they both kind of flip spots. Like May goes from being bad to being good, and Osha goes from being good to being bad by the end.
They're like hanging out with each other's like arch nemesis.
Yeah.
Like Osha's hanging out with Smilo Ren, and then May's hanging out with Soul, who she kind of hates.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of had wasted potential as well. Like I feel like that's a cool little flip, and it has potential to like have some cool like conversations where your ideologies are being challenged, but I feel like they didn't really do that. I feel like they kind of just didn't use it. I don't know, but my whole point is that the fact that they tried to create a person out of the Force and it clearly didn't work because they ended up with a split person, and they're clearly like not very stable. You know, both of them seem to have a lot of issues. I feel like that shows that they didn't do it right. You know, they messed up.
Yeah, they weren't sure what they're doing. And
yeah,
like you're saying, even if this does break canon, even if you're wrong that Anakin is the only known person in like history to be born of Immaculate Conception by the Force, like it wouldn't matter anyways, because these witches lived in like secret on, I forget what the planet's called, but they didn't want anyone to even know about them.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't even matter. In fact, that just speaks to that they really lived in secrecy.
That's actually a good point. Yeah. So even if it is, if they does say that, then yeah, you don't know if that for a fact. It's like you said. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Actually, I'm not like saying the show's any better, like because of that. I'm just saying a lot of the hate that I've seen has come from a place where I feel like it's just Star Wars toxic fans. I mean, the show's still not very good, but like, don't get me wrong, like, but yeah.
I don't know. As of now, I'm feeling like a 5 or a 6. I'm just more disappointed in like, I mean, maybe as we talk about it, it'll change. I'm more disappointed in the stuff that like had potential that wasn't exploited on.
Yeah.
Or expanded on.
I'm gonna look this up.
Speaking on characters, I like Master Soul, dude from Squid Game.
He's probably my favorite character up until like the very end.
I mean, at some points I'm kind of annoyed because like his character is like really emotional for like a Jedi. And you know, if you look at like episode 1, bro, Qui-Gon Jinn, Like, dude is as cool as a cucumber. Like, Jedi are supposed to be really kind of calm, collected, but a lot of the times, like, he's all over here like, oh, May, Osha, like, I don't know. Sometimes I didn't want to get mad at dude, but I was like, damn, this guy's like, it's kind of all over the place. I don't know if they just wrote him like that.
Wait, dude, the one part that I thought I got so tired of was how he kept being like, it is time to reveal to you what I've kept for years. And then it's just like the phone rings. He's like, hang on. Like, that happened like fucking 3 or 4 fucking times, bro. Like, holy shit. Like, it kept getting interrupted. I was like, bro, I get it, bro. Like, you're teasing it. What the fuck? Like, you just gotta do that once or twice, bro. You don't gotta do it that many. Like, that part, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting tired of this shit, bro.
There is one point, actually, where, so he has the ability to, like, read people's minds, bro. It's just, like, using the Force on him.
Mm-hmm.
Smiler Ren wears a helmet, so you're unable to do that. But at the point where May switches with Osha and she's like hanging out with Soul, I don't know why he didn't just use his powers to be like, oh, hold up, bro, you're not Osha.
That's
part of me was
point,
like,
yeah.
But I don't know. He also does have like a soft spot. So I don't know. I don't want to try to like justify it, bro. I just was like, I don't know why he didn't try to use his powers. Like, if I had that power, and if like Osha has a twin out there that could be fucking deceiving me, like, I don't know, I would just use that shit.
So let me read. I googled. Does Star Wars say Anakin is the only person created by the Force? This is what it says. It says in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, it introduces the prophecy of the Chosen One who will bring balance to the Force. The film reveals that Anakin Skywalker was conceived by the Force itself through midi-chlorians, microscopic Force-sensitive organisms, without outside influence. So it doesn't say that he's the only one, but it does say, however, there was a recent Darth Vader comic that came out last year as of recording this, so in 2023, that reveals that Palpatine influenced the midi-chlorians inside of Skywalker's mom's womb to create Anakin in a special way.
Jeez.
So Anakin, I guess, yeah, this doesn't say anything about him being the only one. It's just saying that this...
I think that was... Yeah. It was all just hyped up for him to be some kind of false prophet.
I feel like that's the whole point. I mean, like, in the end, doesn't he bring balance to the Force anyway? Like, at the end of Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, he does, but, like, yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, he had to go through so much shit, bro, since he was, like, a boy, but...
Yeah.
He does actually succeed.
He does. And you could also argue that him low-key, like, murking all of the Jedi in, like, the end of Revenge of the Sith, low-key kind of balances out the sides as well.
I guess so, dude.
You can argue that.
Maybe not the kids. Maybe not the kids.
I mean, if you think about it, you know, what's kind of funny is I understand, like, with Star Wars having Disney Plus now, there's the potential for all these stories. But one thing I'm beginning, obviously this doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but I'm beginning to get a little annoyed, not annoyed, but I guess like seeing a trend where the Revenge of the Sith showed Anakin and like Order 66 just murk almost every single fucking Jedi, to the point where when Star Wars 4, you know, A New Hope appears, there's like only like Obi-Wan and Yoda, and like they're like, oh, like the Jedi like are long forgotten, like, you know, like they're gone, like they got murked. Yeah. But there are so many TV shows and video games set now between episode 3 and 4 where it's like, oh, hang on, like this is a Jedi that escaped. It's like, oh, here's another one that escaped. Like at this point, there's probably like at least 20 Jedi, 20 to 30 that like that's enough to like start your own like temple somewhere, bro.
Hey, bro, I'm trying to see a Cal Kestis movie.
Dude, honestly, I don't know why they cast I don't remember the actor's name, but he's really good. He's a great actor. I don't know why they're casting him if they're not planning on doing that at some point, right? Like you would think that's the whole point. Dude,
I hope that we do get a movie soon, because let me look up his name. Give this dude his flowers. But dude, they really should make a Jedi like Survivor movie. It doesn't even have to be, honestly, you can make it. It would have to be in between the games if you want to cast the same actor. Well, but if they wanted to do like a younger guy, they could maybe cast like someone that looks like a younger version of him, like when the whole shit goes down between his master and him.
Well, he could have. I thought he was gonna appear in like Ahsoka or something, you know, like have him pull up. Like I was expecting that, but we didn't get it. Anyway, let me continue on with Acolyte a bit. What else happens in this? I think. Damn, like I just feel like there's a lot of nothing in this, and I think that's what it is for me. Like I feel like this, like why is this being told? What is the point? What is the overarching? Like why was this made? Mm-hmm. And I feel like there are, like I said, like pluses to this, but I don't know. Like I'm not saying it's bad. It's, in my opinion, I think it's not as bad as everyone's saying. Like I honestly think this is about on the same level as Mandalorian season 3. Like that season, I don't know if you watched it. It was such a drop off.
I did, yeah.
I feel like it's about the same. Like in my opinion, I honestly think it's better than like Book of Boba Fett. I thought Book of Boba Fett was a whole bunch of nothing and just kind of ass, in my opinion. I think it's better than Book of Boba Fett, besides like the one Mandalorian episode that like just completely overshadows everything else. I don't know. That's my opinion.
It sucks that I wanted to get into Book of Boba Fett, bro, but it just kind of dropped the ball. Like, it has a good premise. It's all kind of just about like the writing and execution. Mm-hmm. And with this one, I agree. I think I would honestly probably watch this over Mando season 3, just because Mando season 3 feels like it went on too long. This one at least is trying to do some new things. Yeah. And, maybe if I watch it again, and I don't know if a season 2 is going to come out.
I mean, they teased Yoda, bro, at the very end. You see that?
Oh my god, dude! I don't know why they did that. I actually did watch that cutscene for once, bro.
I usually miss the final scenes.
I stayed. I was like, hold up, there's something else.
Bro, wait, hang on. Yeah. Wait, real quick. I know this is
old.
Well, this is 100 years beforehand, though.
Oh, so he's like a bachelor.
So he's. I mean, he's like, how old is he? Is he like 800? Oh,
yeah, God. He's pretty old. Hold up.
He's like 800 in the prequels.
Look up episode 1.
Yeah, how old is he in episode 1?
Even in the prequels, he looks old as hell. Yoda was born. I don't need to know the year. What does this do for me?
That means nothing to us. Like, oh, okay. Like, we're gonna know.
Just tell me a number, bro.
I think in episode 1, he's 800 something, which would mean he's like 700 something.
Jeez.
In this show.
Okay, in Star Wars, bro, this is so confusing. It says the High Republic phase, which I don't know what that means. He's around 665. So before, I guess, the fall of the Republic, he's around like 600, 700. Bro's pretty old. Oh, in the Phantom Menace, he's 864. Okay. Damn, bro. Okay.
So he's like
that
700.
Sounds miserable to be alive. I cannot wake up every day and just be like,
this says Yoda passed away at the age of 100.
What?
Oh no, not 900. Wait.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, this thing is so confusing. You know how Google has that new thing where the fucking AI overview pops up?
Dude, sometimes it's useful because it's like I'll be like, what to take when my stomach, like, it's helpful. Well, it just tells me shit I need immediately. But if I need to deep dive research, that shit is not helpful at all.
Yeah, because this thing is telling me 3 different. I'm not even joking with you. This AI overview, I just looked up how old is Yoda in episode 1. It says, I don't got much info about Yoda's age in Star Wars episode 1 right now, but here's something that might help you. And it just says 100 years old. And then it says 900 years old. And like that's the only 2 pieces of information it's giving me.
What the fuck?
But then I dig deeper and I look at an actual like source and it says Yoda died not at 900 years old.
What? I don't understand.
I guess that's when he died. He was 900, which means he'd be 860 around the Phantom Menace. Because that's like 40 years beforehand. Yeah, that adds up, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't know that. I don't know what his kind is called, bro, but dude lives hella long.
Well, what has happened? I mean, The Mandalorian takes place in between. Dude, we're going off the rails with this shit right now.
I know. I mean, we're getting into the Star Wars like timeline.
I mean, The Mandalorian takes place in between episode 3 and 4, right? Like in between Revenge of the Sith and before A New Hope.
Yeah,
that's correct. Okay, yeah. So they say Baby Yoda or Baby Grogu is 50 years old, and he's still a child. That don't make sense, because I mean, I guess it does, but like, when the fuck is he gonna like start talking and shit? Because if Yoda's like 600, 700 and he's fucking a Jedi Master, when the fuck is this baby gonna start speaking?
Well, I'm guessing that their lifespan is like times like multiplied by 10, because if 900 like you say 90. An average human lives to 90, 900 is like the oldest, so if he's 50,
that means he's like 5.
Yeah, I guess I would make him like mentally 5, but I don't know, dude. He's like actually
he's acting like he's like 1 or 2,
bro. I mean, he acts like that, but I mean, bro's holding his own in the last couple seasons.
Maybe it's
I like when they gave
like
him
dogs.
A robot suit.
Oh yeah,
dude, that was so cute, bro.
I mean,
dude walking around.
Did you hear that they're gonna make a movie like it's called The Mandalorian and Grogu or something like that?
I heard about that. That sounds, it has potential. It has potential.
Let's see. It comes out in 2026 apparently.
Gee, bro, Pedro Pascal's been, dude, it's been worked like a dog.
I bet you he don't even show up on set anymore. They probably got another dude in there. He just does ADR.
That'd be so dumb though.
I don't know. That's what I would, if I was like as busy as him, I'd be like, can I please just go in a recording booth? Like, please.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in Italy right now filming, bro. Please. Like, I that's what I would do. And like, I don't know why they would say no unless they need him to take off the mask. You know, like there are some when he does that.
Yeah.
But
couple episodes.
But the big thing in season 3 wasn't the main thing that he was trying to like get back, like repent and be like, oh no, I'll never take it off again.
Yeah, he was trying to like make up for his, I guess, taking off the mask because it's like a forbidden thing. But I don't even know how they would know that.
Yeah, just lie,
like,
bro.
He did it for a robot. Yeah, like I don't know. I guess the robot snitched on him, bro.
Jesus. All right, anyway, back to the Acolyte, bro. I feel like we're talking more about other shit than the actual show.
Jeez.
What do you have to say about that we haven't said? Like, I feel like I've been taking the reins a lot. I want to hear you.
Going back to episode, I want to say maybe 5 or 6. It's episode 4 is the main flashback that we get between like Osha May and their whole planet getting destroyed.
Yeah.
First off, I did not like the acting between the 2 younger twins. It was really boxy. Like there's one point where they're like, Osha wants to leave because she's wants to be a Jedi, and she lies when they do the little Jedi test on her, and they're like, look, we know that, like, you know what's on this test and shit. And they said that they'll take her to be a Jedi. And May's twin, it actually started to make sense now, because if her twin is meant to represent kind of like the bad side, and then Osha's kind of like the light, it makes sense when you paint it like that.
That's what I thought they were doing.
That's smart. I didn't even try to think about it like that, because even after the twist happens, I was like, damn, like they still seem to me like complete humans, just kind of with different, I guess, beliefs. But I don't know. I didn't like the acting between the sisters, and there's a point where they're just talking to each other, where May burns down the stone castle, bro. This castle's made of stone, by the way. So I don't understand how it burned, unless all they had to do was just write in some like quick dialogue, like, oh, this place has been shut down. Maybe there's pipes of gases like still inside of like the infrastructure. They could have just said something like that.
Something. Make up
like,
something, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's May and her sister's like dialogue is like, oh, what did you do? And she's like, what did you do? And then she's like, what did you do? And I'm just like, bro, what is this, bro?
I mean, anytime you work with child actors, like you have
I know.
You run the risk of shit like that happening.
I know. I wonder if they casted like 2 twins. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Yeah, I feel like they must have been actual twins, because I felt like one looked a little bit different than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it would be easier to do that than to try and get one kid to like act against themselves. You know what I mean? Like it's already hard enough to get, kids to act, but like to have them do that would be even...
like, imagine your twin.
Yeah, but you know, maybe they did do that because, like you said, it was kind of wooden. Maybe the kid was like, I mean, fuck, I'm staring at a tennis ball right now. Like, that's what I'm acting at.
Tennis ball. Another gripe that kind of like I saw people online saying, or actually, it's just one YouTuber I watch, and he just kind of ripped the series apart. Bro, they have the same haircut from like when they were kids on the planet to like now. Yeah. Both of them literally got the same haircut. I think the evil twin just has like maybe longer braids. Yeah, and at one episode when she like fakes to be Osha, she cuts her braids off with a lightsaber.
But, oh yeah,
bruh.
Did you not like her giving herself a haircut?
I mean, I thought that was honestly, I was a little risky, bro. I would not cut my fucking hair with a lightsaber. I mean, I thought it was cool, but
I saw people hating about the lightsaber thing, and I wanted to. Now that you bring it up, I was actually confused as to why people did not like it. Like, what was our lightsabers? Do they not cut through hair? Like, what was the issue with it?
I don't know if people were upset about it. I just was mad about them having the same haircut. I don't care about that haircut.
It is very
thing.
convenient that it's just like, okay, let me just cut my hair and like now I look like you. Like, I guess
Yeah,
it's definitely.
I don't know.
For
I
plot.
thought that them being like apart for so long that they'd look different. They'd maybe like lead different lives and stuff. But one character death that surprised me a lot actually was Jackie, Daphne Keen's character. She's killed by Smilo Ren, bro, and she gets cooked, bro. She gets like 3 stabs through the abdomen.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that just shocked me because like she's a really young like Padawan, and I don't know. A part of me was also weirded out because Osha's like hanging out with them later on in the show, and it's like, bro, like this guy killed a child. Like even if you're not like with the Jedi and what they stand for, bro, like it's still like a child that he killed, bro. That dude's no better than Anakin now.
Yeah, and I feel like I low key liked her character too. So I was like, damn, like no.
She was cool. Yeah, I liked her. I don't know. Maybe when the characters I cared about started dying, I was like kind of checking out. But if we're gonna talk about, episode 6, that's what I was talking about. There's a really cool fight where one of the witches, I think it's Osha's and May's other mom, the one that it's kind of like she's like bald, but
she's like a Darth Maul, whatever he is.
Yeah, she kind of looks like him.
Yeah,
she possesses Kelnaka, who's a Wookiee, who is a Jedi Master, which I don't know if we've ever seen that. That actually I thought was pretty badass.
I don't think we have actually. Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. I liked that.
I did too.
There's a fight that they have where the Wookiee gets possessed, and pretty much the young Master Torben and Soul have to like fight him, and that fight is good, bro.
It is. It is.
Like they're throwing each other around. There's a part where like it's just a really good fight because like it's not even just you're fighting a Jedi that's like mind control, but it's a Wookiee, bro. Like it's a fucking bear. I thought that fight was pretty good. If we're gonna talk more on the choreography and the lightsaber fights, that was really well done as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest plus for me. I think the choreography and the fighting scenes is probably my favorite part of the show. I just feel like for me, this show is just a whole lot of nothing. It's very like okay, so like to get into like the big part where like Osha's the good one, at least what we see. She wanted to be a Jedi and then she ends up not being one, and they kind of make a big deal where they're like Soul is kind of like, oh, like there's a reason why she isn't a Jedi, and like, oh, I'm kept something from you guys, and like I feel like the big reveal isn't that crazy. I mean, I guess it sucks. I mean, Soul, he killed her mom, right?
Right.
And I feel like, I don't know, like I don't know if it's just me. I felt like I don't buy Osha going from like this like, you know, good person to just like hanging out with the dude in the cave for like one episode. Then like the next episode she's like, all right, like I'm gonna kill Soul, like the dude who like I saw as like my father figure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially in that brutal ass way. Like she fucking like choked him.
Yeah, dude. Choke. That's pretty dark, bro.
Yeah. I actually don't know if I was just like slow, but I remember when they said like, oh, kill a Jedi without a weapon. I was like, okay, is this some sort of like test or like what? Like what do they mean by that? And I don't know if I never even considered you doing the force choke thing.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to master it.
It's iconic from like Darth Vader doing that, but I don't know why. For some reason, I just didn't think about it.
I only think of Darth Vader when I think of force choking.
Yeah,
like maybe Kylo Ren, but
I mean, he did the thing where he stopped like a fucking blaster thing with the force, which was
that was
pretty
hard
crazy.
As fuck.
Yeah, damn, that movie starts off so good, bro. Holy shit,
dude, I know. Yeah, I didn't like how Soul died. I feel like out of all the people of the whole Jedi group that, you know, ended up slaughtering that whole planet of witches and taking one of the girls and her sister dying, like it sounds horrible when you say it like that, but he genuinely wanted the best for Osha. Yeah. And
I mean, he did do some fucked up shit though. Like, I mean, it is fucked up to like kill the mom and not say shit.
Yeah, it was so dumb because like the mom also, when she was gonna like let Osha leave, she like starts doing this black magic shit and like
yes,
and then like, Soul kills her and she's like, I was about to set him free. I'm like,
Why the fuck you
Motherfucker,
do
say that, dude. Like that should be the first thing out of your mouth. Like, hey, hold up. Like, don't gonna be hostile. I'm gonna let it free.
Say that.
I don't know. Like, it's just very weak to me. It's like if you're
I
gonna do
agree.
a twist like that, maybe you could have May go up to Soul and be like, my mom's gonna try to kill you, and like you need to kill her first, or she's not gonna let me leave. And then like it would work like that if May tricked Soul into killing her mom, which actually is kind of dark.
Oh shit, that is very dark.
Yeah,
Damn.
so then it's like Osha can't be mad at Soul, like he was deceived. Something like that. But the way the mom died, I feel like was dumb, and I liked your character actually. Like like the whole Coven of Witches thing was cool. They all end up dying, I think, because of maybe carbon monoxide. Yeah,
I guess. The fire was kind of dumb to me. I don't understand how the whole thing lit up that quick. It's
I know.
Very convenient.
Like May burns a piece of paper, like I think it was some poem, and she burns it after locking Osha in her room, and then she crawls out this little vent, and like the next scene, the whole thing's on fire.
Yeah, the whole thing is fucked, bro. Like that. I'm like, quick.
I don't get it, because their castle is like at the top of a mountain, bro. Which also, by the way, is not really discreet if they're trying to be hidden. It's not surrounded by trees, and it just catches on fire. I didn't understand that.
I don't understand at the very end. Okay, so the part where she kills Soul and like that whole thing is revealed, I feel like it's supposed to be like an emotional scene. I just didn't feel anything. I don't know if it's like I don't know why. I just felt like it was not done in a way where I just felt like I didn't care at that point. Like I'd kind of checked out. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because I didn't buy how Osha like switched sides so quick. And I guess May kind of confused me. Did May switch sides as well? I thought that's what they were leading up to. I thought they were like going to do a flip where it's like, oh shit, May is going to switch and then Osha's going to switch and then they're going to fight for the opposite sides that they originally started out with. But I feel like that's an interesting idea. I don't think they had enough time to do it, even with the like 8 episodes they had, because they introduced the switch up in like episode 6 or or something like that. So that gives them one whole episode where they're switched, and then you got the finale. I don't think that's enough time, like for either of them, for me to genuinely believe that Osha would abandon her entire ideology and then go and kill Soul. Like even with Soul being like, hey, I did this. Like the fact that he himself, I believe, was unarmed, and he was like, "Oh, like I'm sorry, like I fucked up, like I've held this secret for so long." For her to still be like, "All right, let me just fucking crush your windpipe," like that's a big drastic character change from what we've seen. It's fucking wild.
That's what also pissed me off is like I feel like so many characters' motivations just change on a dime.
Yeah,
and that makes me kind of less buying into the fact of what's going on. It's like.
Yeah, it feels like things are just happening for the sake of them to happen, and they're not organically getting there.
Exactly, yeah. At the very end, you're right. So yeah, Osha does go with Smilo Ren. She wants to be trained pretty much to be. I guess she's going to be trained as a Sith.
I guess.
And also, if we're talking back about Smilo Ren, so I think that he kind of played himself as a master, but I think that he has a secret like higher up. Like I think Plagueis is his actual master, and he's an apprentice. But he's just showing himself as like a master, so maybe he can just live on his own or have some type of authority. But Osha's going to be trained by her, and then he wipes May's memory, so she can't. That part
I thought was dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, that's a crazy ass power to just have like
that's
in your fucking inventory, bro. Like
that's
wiping
what I'm
memory.
Saying. Why would you not just like use that shit all the time? Like that's fucking insane to just wipe people's memory.
Yeah, like I get it's like a Jedi mind trick, but like on a whole nother level. But like, damn, they could have. I feel like the Jedi, if they knew how to do that, they could have wiped maybe Osha's memory or May's, like something that. I mean, it still would have made him like dirty, and kind of like messed up for what happened. But that could have prevented a lot of deaths, bro. I mean, pretty much all of the OG Jedi squad die.
Yeah, have we ever seen in any Star Wars? Like canon, current canon, not like EU books and shit from the past, like the stuff that is current. Yeah, the extended universe, bro. Have we ever seen somebody erase someone's mind with the Force? Have we seen that before, or is that a new thing?
I've never seen that. I think that is also brand new.
So that's one thing I was a little, because of that, I'm not gonna lie, I'm beginning to get I feel like whenever I complain about stuff like this, I feel like I'm like one of the Star Wars like toxic fans that are like oh like that's never happened before, like you know like, but it's kind of like I'm like damn, that's a pretty big thing to just reveal, and especially so casually. Like at the end of the movie, it's like, well, not the movie, the show. It feels very like how do we wrap this up? And it's just like May is just like, oh, I don't want to go with you guys. Like why would she not actually? Because like it was her whole thing in the first place. Like she just doesn't
She
want to.
wanted her sister to stay.
Wait, what? But like at the end, she's like, oh, just erase my mind so that if whenever the Jedi ask me questions, I can't give you up because I have no memory of you or anything.
I guess because the Jedi can also kind of like Soul can like probe their memory, so they wouldn't find anything. So that makes sense. But I don't know why she wouldn't just go with them. Like
that's a very drastic thing, and it feels like the whole time
they've been apart.
Yeah,
the whole reason that she was upset and like burned down the fucking the witch's place was because she didn't want her sister to leave. Like they both promised each other they weren't gonna go.
That's what doesn't make sense to me. Yeah,
I agree. Like you said, it's a whole lot of nothing. Like at the end of the show, I'm like, what was this for? Like, was this setting up kind of like an anti-hero? Like, I heard that the writer, actually, Leslie Hyland, was saying that she wants to tell a Star Wars story that happened during a time of peace. So, like, no war is happening. And she wanted to do this because I think, like, later on, after all the Jedi are killed, like you said, the Sith and the Jedi are kind of balanced out. But here, the Sith are kind of seen as the underdog since the Jedi are kind of like are everywhere. So I guess her mindset was she wanted to kind of maybe humanize like a Sith character. So this is maybe like a origin of like a Sith character. Somebody that like wanted to be a Jedi, got fucked over by them, killed one, and now she's gonna go train with Darth Plagueis' apprentice.
Well, I just wonder what this is leading to, because it kind of ends in a way where it feels like they're setting up a season 2, or at least trying to. Because they show us Darth Plagueis like the second to last episode, I believe, and it's like a 1 second thing where he just like peeks out from like a cave, and then they show us Yoda in the last episode where the girl's just like, oh, like master, like I gotta tell you something. He's just like and you just see the back of his head. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. So I'm looking it up right now. So it's called a memory rub, and this is from Star Wars fandom. First off, that's such a weird ass name, bro. This is a telepathic force technique that allows an individual to use the force to alter or erase another's memories. It says here that, of course, it happened in the Acolyte. It's also happened during the Clone Wars animated series.
Okay.
A character called the Father. He used this memory erase on Anakin Skywalker. After he learned that he would become Darth Vader, and yeah, pretty much he needed to do that self-fulfilling prophecy. It also happens in Star Wars Rebels at one point with Ezra, with some bounty hunters. So it's not like it's not a new thing.
Okay,
this is maybe the first instance it was used.
Maybe in live action.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, these other two shows are like animated, so unless you're not really into like the animated shows, which I feel like a lot of Star Wars fans are, bro.
I feel like yeah, the big fans
they just love
know,
yeah, but if you just watch the live action, like you might be confused as hell.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen some episodes of the Clone Wars, I think, back when it was on Cartoon Network, but I've never watched it like, you know, chronologically, and I've never watched the Rebels at all. Yeah,
I've seen some of the Clone Wars, but not all of it. And also the way that the show was released, bro, was very like, there's actually a list online on Reddit. If you go on there, it's the correct order to watch it chronologically. I don't know why the show was released the way it was, but every episode is kind of like a couple filler episodes, then you get like the main story, then like filler, and all of those filler actually like go as one long cohesive story. But I think they just decided to do it some other way, which is weird.
But I think it's because I remember hearing that originally the show was supposed to be like an anthology series where it's like, okay, like we have these random little episodes here and there that like are just like, this takes place in some random time in the Clone Wars, like during the Clone Wars this happened, but then at some point they were like, okay, let's tell a more cohesive plot. So some of the episodes lead into others or reference others, but they're completely out of order. So it's kind of odd because like I feel like at some point somebody was like, "Damn, like now we have to like actually like tell a story." Not that they weren't doing that; they were just doing it in chunks. So I think somebody then had the job to go back and be like, "Okay, well then this takes place after this, and this takes place here," and that seems like a fucking bitch and a half to have to do that, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'd be fucking exhausted, bro. I'd be like, fuck. God damn it. No. All right. I mean, I think I've kind of said all I wanted to say about the Acolyte.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's like I said, it's like very just. I think mid is like the perfect way to describe it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree too. And you know, I don't hate to use that word if it's like granted, bro. Like calling stuff mid for mid is like whatever. But I sat down and fully watched this. It had a lot of good potential. Like the whole plot of Jedi murders and like a crime thriller set before the entire like original like the prequel and the sequel trilogies, or I'm sorry, the original was cool. Like it's stuff that we'd never seen before. It's characters that we don't need to like worry about connecting to the main lore. And the cast was really strong, but some aspects of the storytelling and most of the finale is where it kind of falls flat for me.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. For me, it's kind of like it starts off not like it's amazing in the beginning, but it starts off at a place where I'm like, okay, like this has potential. This is an interesting story, like set up. Let's see where they go with this. And I feel like it doesn't really lead anywhere new or like extra exciting or anything. It's kind of just like you said, it feels like a lot of the decisions kind of happen for no reason. They don't happen organically. They kind of just do it for the sake of the story. It feels like this could have had a bit more time cooking, like in the script stage, to make it more cohesive and more, because there are parts like that fall apart near the ending of the film. But I think for me, I feel like it's not any worse than recent Star Wars shows, in my opinion. I think in the recent years, there's been a couple that have, besides Andor, really, it's kind of faltered off a bit. Like Mando season 3, probably a low point. Ahsoka, for some people, they really liked it. I think Rebels fans are big on that. For me, it was, I liked seeing Hayden Christensen back. That was probably the highlight for me.
That was badass. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite episode. So for me, because of that, for me, it's not mid, but I do agree that besides that, the show's kind of just okay, just average. Doesn't do anything too amazing. It's just kind of cool for Rebels fans and cool to see him back. And then Book of Boba Fett for me is just like a big wasted opportunity. Like just the fact that for years we were like, holy shit, like Boba Fett, like is he alive or dead after that Sarlacc pit? And then when we got this and he appeared in Mando, we were like, oh my god, like he's getting his own show. Like let's see what cool things they can do with this character. But then they just, I don't know, they were trying to make him an anti-hero, or I think they leaned too much into the hero aspect of it. I want to see Boba Fett just be like a fucking no one gives a shit bounty hunter who just got out and then like fights his way into like taking over a city. Like, but I feel like he did it too. I don't know. It's just like very, why? Like why is this made?
Yeah, I agree. Like the whole thing that made people like him or just were intrigued by him is that like he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He's really like hyped up in it's not The Last Jedi. I forget which one.
It's one of the original trilogies. He appears in a couple of them.
I think it's the one after A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that show just fell flat.
Yeah. My whole point is Star Wars recently has not been any better than this. So I think the people hating on this, I'm not saying they're wrong. There is stuff to hate on in this. It's not good, but I don't think it's any worse or any better than a lot of the recent stuff we've been getting. I personally would rather watch this than Book of Boba Fett again. I think I like the action scenes in this better than Book of Boba Fett. I think Mandalorian season 1 and 2 are miles ahead of this. So is Andor, from what I've heard. But everything else is very like 7 to like a 5. And for this, I'm probably going to give this like a 5. This is like a 2.5 out of 5, a 5. It's like straight down the middle for me.
I think I'm going to agree with you, bro. This is probably like a 2.5 for me.
Yeah.
Like all the pieces were there for it. I think that if they just maybe went back and did like a couple rewrites like it could all definitely be there. The action's really
Yeah.
good. The cast is well done. For me personally, on the side of like the crime thriller, I feel like a lot of information we see and then characters kind of just like say it, like relay
Yeah.
it the next scene. And it's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
the whole aspects of a thriller is characters are confused. They're supposed to be kind of like a mystery or mystery in the air of what's going on. But with this one, it kind of just lays out all the pieces for you, and I don't like that.
Yeah, it's very much like it's telling you, like they gotta
It
like,
spells it out. It spells it out.
and at the end of the day, I feel like Star Wars, as much as people don't want to admit it, Star Wars is made for like families and kids. So maybe that's another thing. Maybe they're like, you know what? If we got kids watching some of these shows, like people that are like 10, 13 years old, like we gotta kind of maybe spell it out for them a bit more than adults. Like a normal crime thriller, like, Seven or Zodiac, you don't gotta spell it out. Like we can remember information that was relayed to us like 2-3 scenes ago, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I agree with you. I think that is a bit of a thing that brings it down for me in terms of storytelling. But I think the fact that Star Wars, at the end of the day, it sells toys, it's for kids and family, and like it's for everybody. Not saying you can't make something amazing with that. That's not an excuse. I'm just saying that I think that might be a reason why we would get a lot of relaying of information. But
Yeah.
I think there's a way to do it where you can do it without it being as cut and dry as this show was.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Anyway,
there's a lot of ways that the show could have been done better, but yeah, that's my final ratings.
Same.
I think this show is straight mid, unfortunately, because when it got announced, dude, and the whole cast was like announced, I was actually really hyped for it. But dude, with Star Wars nowadays, you just gotta wait till it comes out and watch it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Star Wars does next. We'll see if they can. I mean, they can only go up from here, hopefully, right?
I mean, we'll see if this gets to season 2. Maybe there's stuff that will pay off, and maybe they'll take the fan feedback. I mean, they probably won't. Let's be real, but
yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
But anyway, let us know what you guys thought of the Acolyte. Did you hate it even worse than us? Did you like it? If you liked it, tell us why. If you hated it, tell us why. Check us out. We're on Instagram. We're on Threads. We're on Twitter. All those links will be down in the description below, as well as our own personal letterboxes. If you want to go follow us on there, we'll probably give you guys a follow back, and you can look at Nick's 2024 ranked list.
Dude, I've been building that shit like crazy.
Yeah, you got to lock in, and make sure to stick around, subscribe if you're new, leave a like, leave a review wherever you're watching and or listening at. Get ready for an upcoming episode where we're going to have Christian and Mike on at the same time, I believe. We're going to be talking Trap, M. Night Shyamalan's the latest film. I'm very excited for that episode. I feel like it's going to get very heated.
Yes, sir.
All right, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Goodbye.